Hello, Richie family. My name is David. This is my beautiful bride, Kiara. And this is Grandma Richie. And this is the Richie Family Annual Podcast.
And Papa's with us.
Papa
Yeah.
is with us, yes.
And there was a Thundermug under the bed.
Thundermug?
That's where you went to the bathroom.
Oh!
And that,
So you said it's on vinyl?
well, yeah, with a little hole in the center.
Yeah.
The big.
Okay.
This is when he was young in that choir. I think Danny Boy is one of them.
Oh, I love that. That's so awesome. We should I know that the library you can rent out record players, I think.
Oh.
So maybe we can either do that or I don't know. I think I might want a record player here at some point because they're coming back.
You know, that's kind of what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And like used books, like half price.
Mm-hmm.
Half-Price Book sells the...
Yeah, they have a lot of those vinyl records over there. People are shopping.
Yeah, there's new singers that are coming out with vinyls now.
Yeah.
It's coming full circle.
Oh my gosh!
Because they think it's crisper. They like the sound of it more.
Oh,
Isn't that
the
interesting?
problem is I lost all my records in the fire.
Oh,
That record player when he was gonna repair it and he opened it up, it was like he was in the middle of the fire. The smoke just
Scary.
ruined it. Yeah. I used to play classical music during the day if I was at home or something. I liked them.
How long does a record last?
I don't know.
No, I didn't know because it had one on one side and then you flipped it over for the other side, right?
Yes, but it was more than one song on one
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Would it stop for like 30 seconds before doing another song, or was it just continuous, basically?
I don't remember. My long-term memory is only so good,
That's okay.
but I did enjoy it. Yeah. Mostly I enjoyed reading, but I read a lot of books. I've taken quite a few to half-price books. Not all of them here I've read. Would like to get back to doing more reading.
So did you read nonfiction or fiction?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fiction book? Or fiction book series?
I know you've asked me about favorite things when I was a child, which I can tell you a few of those. In terms of books, I liked mystery books, and I can't remember the name. There have been several that I liked. I just don't remember the names. I know more. I could tell you more about my childhood than I could what happened yesterday or 5 years ago.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I was thinking I would like you to know a little bit about my relationship maybe with one of my relatives. And one of the things that I like to do with my grandpa, Rhodes, my mother's dad, was go to the Ohio State Fair. And the other
Ohio
thing,
State Fair?
yeah,
Okay.
we lived in Columbus. And the other thing is my father was a photographer and he has a beautiful picture, I think it was his picture, of me combing my grandpa's hair on the hillside in front of our house. I was like maybe 5 years old, 5 or 6 years old, and he'd let me do anything. But that family was English, and my dad's background was German. And my grandpa lived in an old farmhouse in Kenton, Ohio, and it was fixed up, and originally they were still living in it. My grandmother passed away at a young age. They called him JR because he owned an auto shop. And the house had a potbelly stove in the center. And guess where I took a bath? In a big metal tub out on the deck with a light in the ceiling. And of course, for a kid, that's like fun. It was interesting. And then when my grandmother died, one of the children moved in the house to take care of Grandpa, and he had his own room and bath, and he always had a dish of pink mints.
Pink
Mints. So
Mints.
you could go to the candy jar and get your pink mint. That was one thing I just remembered. And then my grandpa Kaiser, we were probably there more than the other. He was a plumber, and he had a Model T Ford, and he would pile up his plumbing tools in the back. So that's where our feet would land when my cousin Connie and I drove to the movie theater or wherever we wanted to go. He also, I remember him killing and skinning a chicken in the yard.
Oh, okay.
There was a cherry tree that Connie and I used to climb. We'd just eat the cherries off the tree. And we slept upstairs in kind of the attic, and there was a Thundermug under the bed.
A Thundermug?
Mm-hmm. That's where you went to the bathroom.
Oh!
And that's what they called them. And when I went to a church conference back when I was in high school in Cleveland, and I must have told the story or something because it was, I don't know if it's my birth. Anyway, they brought out one day a Thundermug for me. So, yeah.
Just in case you need it.
Yeah. Oh, so
Thundermug.
yeah, I know. Then when I stayed with my aunt and uncle, which is my mother's sister and her husband, he was a state senator, and they had a nice home. They lived in Forest, which was a small town, and his district had a lot of farms, and he would help out the people. You know, he would make sure that everybody was doing okay. And when he was running for the state senate, I got to go in the summertime to all these picnics. And one time the food was so good and I ate a little too much. I didn't get totally sick, but I kind of felt bad at the end of the day. But those were a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. Oh, and another thing. So his brother lived across the street, and they owned a crystal shop.
Mm.
You're looking at some of it over there.
Oh, okay.
And they had Dana was about my age, and so we went horseback riding, and I got to work.
Where's your camera? Okay.
Where?
Right here.
Yeah.
I just think when you said the crystal, I should get a quick zoom in shot.
You just want to zoom in on the crystal.
It needs washing.
That's okay.
All right. That's it. There you go.
How long have you had the crystal then?
Well, Aunt Esther passed away. Jack and I hadn't been married real long. It was before the kids, I'm pretty sure, because the first house that we had, I had that break front.
Mm.
Now, some of it was, I got when I was my wedding crystal. The other is from that store.
Mm.
Yeah, quite a few things from the store.
How many houses has it been in then? Just here?
Oh no, let's see. We were in an apartment, and then, that was the apartment with Mrs. Ricchetti. And Jack was in the Army Reserves, and we were able to get that apartment, and there was a lot of land, and she had the land dug up for us to have a garden. So the other people could have a garden, and they only planted gourds, the first people that were there. And then we had a section where we planted, and so we'd come home from work and we'd have to work in the garden, but it was really delicious. It was really good. And Jack learned how not to plant corn. He thought he would border the garden. Well, corn has to to pollinate has
Yeah.
to be together. So
Right.
we didn't have any corn. But we did have plenty of potatoes and peas and a lot of things, carrots and yeah. That was our only garden. Oh, we did have a lot of tomatoes. There were so many tomatoes that he took to work, bushels. And they said, stop! They didn't want any more tomatoes. So that was enough. And Mrs. Ricchetti invited us over for dinner one night. There was enough for an army, but she showed me how to make some things, Hungarian paprikash and stuffed cabbage and a number of things, plus desserts. And this big table is loaded with food, and it's just her and Jack and I. Then we go in the living room to talk, and she has 2 Siamese cats that climbed up on our laps. Try to stay awake in that condition. It was really hard. We fought very hard to stay awake.
All this good food and the cats trying to come to you.
But Jack reminded her of a son that died in the service, and so that was why she gave the apartment to him. The other people were going to come back, but she said, if you get your money over here right away, you'll have it. So that was that experience.
And that was in Ohio.
That was in
It's okay if you don't remember.
no, that was well, yeah, Ohio, but Akron, not Columbus. We didn't live in Columbus. Yeah, we lived in Akron. And after the apartment, then we moved into a ranch. So we were there for a few years, and then he got the job in Chicago, and we moved. But before the night he was supposed to leave.
To go to Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a good time. And
Okay.
and I got up to go to the restroom and I passed out. And Jack took me into the ER.
Oh no.
I had ruptured ovary.
Oh.
Now, when I was
I bet he was proud.
Well, I had a ruptured appendix when I was a child.
Oh.
And that's another story. But so I had to stay. He had to go.
Yeah.
I think they allowed him to stay for maybe 5 or 6 days, a week. And then I was with his mom and dad, and then he came back and moved. So he had to pack up the moving stuff
Alone, yeah.
alone,
Gosh,
take it to the apartment, and bless his heart, he tried to put everything away, which he did. However, when I got there and I opened the cupboards and pulled the dresser, where is everything?
This is not where I would have put this.
What happened?
What happened to the farm?
But it was fine, We
I can only imagine your stress though.
Yeah, like right before a big move, having to
Oh
go to the
yeah,
ER.
and poor Jack probably had more stress than I did.
Yeah.
I was out.
Yeah.
But it all worked out, and actually, it was a good thing that happened because he took away the doctor took away the scar tissue from my ruptured appendix, which was probably keeping the ovaries from functioning, and so I was able to get pregnant after that 3 times.
Oh, that's
So that was
that's
that was a blessing.
Or literally.
God always works in
doesn't
such
it?
I know he
such
does.
mysterious ways.
He does.
Yeah.
Because you probably did not think that was gonna be a good thing at all.
No.
Yeah, that's that's crazy how that's like, that thing that happened turned into so many different things, and creating life down the line, just crazy.
Oh yeah.
We do have some questions that we wrote down if you don't
Sure.
mind us asking.
Do you need water?
Yeah, it's a lot of talking. Do you want some water?
I think that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, let me grab
Would
you.
you like some?
I would like some too. And you grew up in Ohio?
I grew up in Ohio, in Columbus.
Okay.
And I worked with Jack's sister at the television station. That wasn't my first job. My first job was at Ohio Bell in the drafting department.
Like draft people into the military?
No, drafting in that back then there were no computers. There wasn't a lot of the stuff that you're all working with now.
Right.
And so the architect would draw what needed to be done in the field as it relates to telephone poles or whatever needed to be done with telephone call. And so they would make marks on the plans and they'd send the plan to us and then we would make permanent records.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I worked at a drafting table making permanent records.
Okay.
So, now, there was also a room where they could do the really big sheets. I don't know if it operated like a fax machine or what, I don't remember exactly. But we were doing pages that fit into a book. And so there were streets and telephone poles and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then when the secretary to the department head was gone, I worked for him. And then they had a strike and I had to go up and work the boards where you pull out the plug and one person that I talked to was at some kind of a tractor. It was at a farm, like tractor conference or something.
Okay.
You know what there's. So I didn't care for that too much. I was glad to get off of it.
Okay.
Then I wasn't there real long. I did meet somebody that I dated, the brother of one of the ladies there.
Okay.
His name was David. And we had a good time, went ice skating and did a number of things. And then, I don't know, I didn't encourage any more dates with him. I thought, well, I don't think this is going anywhere. Or he stopped dating, I don't remember. But then he did call me back later and he wanted to go out again. And I said no. And I found out later, after Jack and I were married, that he married somebody named Judy. The coincidence of that.
That's crazy. That's hilarious.
So then my teacher from high school said, I understand that you didn't go to work using your skills, for your secretarial skills. And she said, there's an opening at Ohio State University in the law department. And would you be interested in interviewing? I said, sure. So I did. I went to work there, and that was a stitch. Because one of the things that I remember that was interesting was the German professor that was there, not an internship, but sabbatical, a period of time. And he would dictate in front. They were in Page Hall, which is an old building with big windows. And he would stand in front of the window, and I would be here at the desk, and I would see his spit from his guttural sounds flying out of his mouth.
That must have been
And I'm
gross.
trying to concentrate.
Oh.
But that was just
literally
professors were very interesting, and I'm sure the ones today are probably just as different. There was another one that had his desk stacked, and it was a great big desk. And Matthews was his name, and he would go from spot to spot as he was dictating that. And and then one of the professors had actually worked as an attorney commercially, and all the kids loved him because he had a lot to bring that was different than the others from just academic. He also had several children, and I babysat for him a few times. So,
Oh, that's sweet.
yeah, that was interesting. I did date somebody that worked there too for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then let's see, where did I go? Then somebody else called me. Oh, I moved out of the house because my dad said it's time to go. I got home a little bit late. Like it was just midnight, but I was supposed to be home 11:30. So I left and I moved into a room of somebody that mother knew that she lived near campus. And so I moved in with her for a little while, and then a friend of mine was moving out of her house, and we were in a district with some, they were like duplexes, and we lived in the top floor, one of the duplexes. So that was another thing I did that was different. And so I took the bus downtown and I worked at WBNS television after I left Ohio State. And I can't remember how I got the job, through networking. And that was really interesting. Yeah, I got to do I got a trip to New York, and that's how I met Jack's sister, because Alice worked there.
Oh.
Yeah, and she placed the spots with our national company out of New York to for the radio or TV. And I worked for the merchandising man, and so we did a lot of different things.
Okay.
We had a breakfast, and I had to make place settings, and it was for Purina, so I used the egg, and we made different things out of it.
Okay.
So, and then I was a mystery shopper for Maidenform. That was a name.
Oh,
then.
wow.
So it called for a lot of different things.
Yeah, mystery shoppers. I remember when I was at Enterprise, they said that they would have mystery shoppers come through, which are, I guess, they're a great look at, you know, the business for the people. You know, because you get if you know someone's reviewing your business, you're gonna maybe make yourself look better.
Yeah.
You know, but if you don't know, right, you get the authentic version. So, what you said you did mystery shopping for?
In retail.
Okay, so just like big box stores?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, big box stores. They might be having a special sale or something that they want them to promote, and so I would go in shopping and I would determine whether they did it or not, whether they did what they were wanting to do. And the ad was going to be on our WBNS TV or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That makes sense.
there were a lot of different things. It's when you're young and you're not married, it's nice to have a lot of different experiences.
Different experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I took a class for court recording too.
That is so interesting because I don't understand the whole keypad part of it.
They use a special type of
Yeah.
shorthand, right?
Yes, not my other kind of shorthand.
Yeah.
It's so that they can type as fast as the people talk.
Yeah,
That's
but I
interesting.
didn't continue with it. But it was interesting to know.
I think they don't have a lot of people who do it now. Like it's
No.
very sought after skill.
Yeah.
You said that you met Papa through Alice. Can you tell us a little bit about
sure.
that?
Sure. So she told him when he got out of the service and we was going to start work in Cleveland, I'm bringing home my girlfriend and I want you to take her out.
Very direct.
I don't want to do it, you know. So what happened when we did do that, but to get out of the house, so I bring my things to where she's living.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought a hat because we were going to be going to church. Back then you wore hats.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came home to go up to Akron from Columbus, she had a dog, and the dog had torn into my hat.
Oh,
And there were, I don't know, lilies or something all over the house.
No.
And she was so mad at that dog. I could have cared less. You know, it was not that important to me. So then we went up there. Well, Jack's mind, he said, I don't want to meet her. She's going to be at the house. I'm going to wait longer. Maybe she'll be in bed. So a friend, his mentor, asked him if he'd like to go to this party or whatever it was after. Oh, yeah, I would love to do that.
So you're trying to get out of this.
So I'm at home with him watching the family movies. And
Yeah.
he walks in about 10 o'clock. and he would say, and here is everybody, you know, sitting around. I'm going to cry because he said when he first saw me, a thought went through his head that he would marry me. But he didn't treat me that way. So he took me to a cheap place, kind of, it's almost a strip club, but it wasn't. It was
Almost a swing.
well, they had clothes, but they were dancing with very little on. And then I went to order a drink, and he said, she'll have a beer. And there was a place to do a little dancing, and we did a little dancing. Anyway, when we got back to the house, he tells the story differently than I would, but with a little more embellishment. But I told him he was arrogant.
I love that.
And he said a few other words that I don't remember saying. I think maybe. And he tells people when he tells the story that he liked the fact that I would stand up to him like that.
Yeah.
And then we had a decent date the next time.
You told him he was arrogant, then he's like, let me take her out somewhere fancy.
So it was a back and forth, you know, to Akron, or he'd come down to Columbus, which is, you know, a little more difficult. But I knew his family, you know, and Alice was a good friend, and she still is. So, and, oh, you asked, one of the questions, was there anything unusual at the wedding? Well, his friend Danny, he said, always would screw up something, and they couldn't get in until late, like the middle of the night, and he had to go down to the train station and pick them up. I don't remember the story that led to that. Jack would be able to tell you, but he's no longer here. But the wedding turned out beautiful, and I've got lots of pictures, you know, wedding pictures. And trying to think. Oh, so we didn't have a sit-down dinner. That wasn't necessarily what they did.
Okay.
We had a buffet in a restaurant hall. It was very nice, kind of more like a tea buffet. And then my mother had food at home, so the family and close friends came to the house.
Oh, okay.
And we got ready to leave for our honeymoon. So Jack is down in the kitchen, you know, putting food in a sack so that we'll have something to eat
On the way.
We were going to Florida, and we were going to stay in his father's place that he owned down there.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was really nice, you know, very, very nice. One of the things that the people that lived there said, because we were always coming in and out, and I'd be going somewhere, I'd be dressed differently, or it was just funny to watch two young couples, you know, that just came down. But we had a really nice time, nice beach area. So that was the beginning of our life. One of the things you can't depend on is everything being an even keel. And we survived our life and the ups and downs. If Christ is at the center, it makes all the difference. You know, you can get through a lot, you know. And so rather than looking at somebody else, you need to look up.
Look up to the Creator, the one who gave us our salvation.
Yeah. So we've lived a lot of different places, you know, Akron. We moved to Chicago and Northbrook. We moved into Northbrook because his boss lived there in a house, but we lived in a small apartment building, a garden apartment, which means your windows are up here because you're really in the basement. And our dishwasher was out because you went out to the kitchen and there was a little area and then you had to walk up the steps to go to the garage.
Oh, okay.
So that's where there was enough room for our dishwasher to be out there. And then I think we could bring it into the kitchen and plug it in when I actually used it.
Oh.
Yeah.
You had to like move it.
And we had David there.
Okay.
We got a scare because the one time I went into the bathroom and there was blood everywhere.
Yeah, you told me
Yeah,
about that.
so I think I did mention that. So he's fine. You know, we went to Evanston Hospital and then we were fine after that.
All right.
I've been to Evanston Hospital.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. For Mason Jars.
Really?
And I just dropped off for Northbrook Fire Department last week.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Lake Bluff,
I'm gonna plug in the.
and then we moved to Barrington Square,
Okay.
and then we bought our house and we moved on Rosedale
Mm.
in Hoffman, and now we're living here when we downsized.
How long were you at your house?
The Hoffman one?
Yeah.
At least 25 years.
Yeah.
We've been there and here for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We lived a long time. One of the questions you asked me was a favorite present that I gave to the kids. Well, I wouldn't say that it was mine, but I was happy that they really enjoyed it, all three of them. And it was a G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah. I remember
And they
Dad
had a
talked about
whole
that.
lot of little ones. They played on the marble dining room table. They played on that silver table that Don Drum made us.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a really good time with
Yeah,
that.
Dad would. He talked to me about his GI Joes that he got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, how much he enjoyed them.
So you had some questions?
Yeah,
Some of them you have already answered.
yeah. Some of you have already answered. I mean, we were talking about the GI Joes. I remember my dad would talk about the.
I like this one.
Okay. Would talk about the GI Joes that he got as a kid, cause like, you know, when he would give us stuff, we didn't have like a lot. I mean, I was into cars, you know, as a kid and NASCAR and stuff, so I would always get cars.
Matchbox cars, yeah.
Yeah, Hot Wheels, or like I really like the NASCAR diecast cars.
Oh.
Yeah, so I still have those. You know, that's what I really enjoyed, and so, you know, but Daniel would get Lego Bionicles, and that's Lego at the time needed. That was one of their biggest selling things at the time, and that reminded Dad of GI Joes when he got as a kid, because he remembers playing with them. Yeah, he would tell me about that.
Yeah, David too. He liked those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of our questions was, as you know, we just had Levi. What is your biggest advice that you would give new parents today? I know, it's a toughie.
Are you thinking in terms of their future, or young mothers today do a beautiful job with their babies and raising their children.
If you had to tell us one advice that you wish you heard, when you had your babies?
Well, we didn't live near anyone of our family. We did have friends from church. I don't know that it necessarily applied to me because the world today is so different. And for Jack and I too, we didn't have to clock in. We just went out, and our kids pretty much did the same thing. Today, if I were a parent,
When you say clock in,
well,
like you mean for work?
No, as a
Okay.
child.
Like tell your mom you're
Jack,
gonna be here.
Jack was the baby of the family, and he would tell his mom, where she'd say, "Where are you going?" Out.
You would
And he
tell
would-
him where you're going,
He
when
would
you're going,
be
who
with
you're
his
going
friends and play. You couldn't do that today.
Yeah.
It's just not a realistic thing.
with.
I guess not hold too tight or too much control, just enough so that they aren't afraid to come to you, and to talk to you. And I know they're going through a tough time right now, Brian and Angie, but the girls aren't afraid to go to their mom and dad and talk to them. It's hard for me to say to go that far back. And just remember that.
I think that's already good advice to not hold too tight, because I think for me, I need to hear that, because even right now, I'm like, how am I ever gonna let him go anywhere? I'm like, he's a little bean. Well, how am I ever gonna be able to let him go anywhere without?
Yeah, he's gonna grow up and like do stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and like especially today because of technology, like you can know where they are. You can. I mean, we track each other.
Oh, they track. In fact, they've even added me to the 360.
Yeah, but it's like, what really changed? Because if you think about it, like the amount of like serial killers, that maybe were around when you were a parent and when my dad was a kid was like more than it is probably today. So, but it's like they had so much less, like, they just go, right? So
I think there's more knowledge. I think knowledge is scary.
Oh, I can't say that there would be more then than now.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's easier to do more crime now.
I think kids are unsafe online.
Oh,
But
I agree.
In the real world, they're much safer.
I agree. I agree with that statement. Very much so.
Yeah.
I worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we worry about it as well. We have, I don't anticipate Levi having a smart device for
A long time.
probably like high school
Yeah.
at the earliest. He can have, some sort of device, phone to call us, at some point, but
We're thinking like a 2008 flip phone. like
a cell
that
phone,
point.
like a regular cell phone that isn't, that doesn't have the screen, because we've seen
You're probably more aware of what's out there than I would be. I just know that there's a lot.
yeah, online, no social media before high school, of any kind, because
we got phones later than all of our peers even.
I mean, I got my first phone at 12.
I got my first phone at 14 and it was shared with my sister.
Okay.
And that was just because we were in sports. and we just had to tell our mom if something was going to go on later than anticipated.
Well, and that's a lot of that is true with the girls playing volleyball and trying to, pick up and drop off and all of that.
Yeah, but it's interesting now because if Levi doesn't have, we're going to assume Levi has siblings. At some point in the future. But what are his peers going to be doing? Are his peers going to be just hooked up to technology all the time, and he's going to
I think the pendulum's going to swing.
I think it will too. I think it will.
I'm hoping
it's going to swing back because we talked to a lot of people. At least in our circles, talk about when they're having kids, they do not want them to have
internet access at all.
Devices, if it's internet, it's for education, right?
Yeah.
Because it fried a lot of their friends' brains.
Yeah.
In negative ways and caused a lot of hurt. If actually this was, Steve Jobs would not let his kids have iPads or iPhones. When he was making the technology, he wouldn't let his kids have it. Which kind of shows that he knew something about how addicting they would be.
Well, I'm not addicted to it. Somebody at my age, it's annoying.
Yeah.
I have it.
That you have to have it.
Well, what happened is Jack and I were out having supper with Connie and Dennis a number of years ago, and a different kind of phone, but still, I had a phone. And I said, why is it you know everything about my family before I do? I'm not getting calls from them telling me what you know.
Yeah.
She said, here, give me your phone. And that's when she put me on Facebook.
Oh.
So you kind of felt like the way that you were going to get in touch with your family.
So today, that's how people get in touch on the phone. You texted me, you didn't call me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we lived in a different world where people called, so it took a while getting used to that. And I would be out of luck if I hadn't, joined Facebook for finding out about my kids and what was going on in the world,
This is, I guess, a question for kind of, I guess Kiara and I can answer it. What do you think, really far in the future, that's going to be as texting is to grandma and her generation is going to be for us? I think you're going to be able to hook up your brain to either AI or the cloud. So, and I think that's going to be
so scary.
That's going to be a contention for us.
It's not that far away.
I think it is. I think it's at least 40 years away from being able
That's not that long. Realistically, that's not that long.
I guess.
I was going to say your glasses and you don't need a phone anymore, which I think is closer.
Yeah.
Because you can put on goggles and it's a camera and you can see the whole world around you and your screen on your phone.
I have seen that. That's, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's Apple's VR headset. So there have been VR headsets. I have one. That's the Meta Quest. Facebook bought it. So
for games.
It's just for gaming, in VR, virtual reality games. However, the Apple came out with one. They increased the price by 10 to 13x. It's $3,400. But the difference is it's essentially you can see your phone and your Apple devices in the real world. It's augmented reality where you're seeing something digital through your screen, but you can see, you have the headset on and you can see through it. So you can see everything else around you, and then over here is your apps. Over here is like your, work or whatever that you're doing. And so there was people have tried it and they've done reviews on it on YouTube, and there was a very like interesting moment that happened for some of these people where it, like, at a moment in time, they were not able to, the switch flipped in their brain, and their brain, what they were seeing was like it was reality, essentially. So they were unable to distinguish this is digital on what I am looking at. Their brain like did the switch after wearing it for a certain amount of time. So I think that technology, when that becomes like smaller and cheaper, like my glasses, that could be like the next evolution. And I think even more, it'll be like in people's heads, like it'll be in your brain. Lenses. Even a contact, or just in your brain, like you're thinking it.
It's so scary.
It's scary.
I don't like the idea. The only thing that I think that would be very useful for is recipes.
Oh,
that's the only thing. I'm like, I have to open it up, but I'm stirring this.
And then your hand's dirty, and your hand gets all over.
Exactly.
Your phone.
That's the only thing I think it would be very nice for. Because I like the fact that I can chuck this and then then I'm unplugged. Then I don't have to worry about it. Meanwhile, I have a ring that tracks my heart rate and everything.
You do?
This ring, it tracks my heart rate, it tracks my temperature. I'm using it so I don't have to go back on birth control. So it checks my temperature every morning. Oh. So I can track it that way. But as he's saying that, I'm like, oh, but like I'm really plugged in. Even if I take this off, now I'm unplugged. But it's like,
wow,
it's
it gets
tracking.
There's a manual way to track your cycle. To do it with the ring.
Oh, and then Jack, after that one trip in the hospital, when they had to replace his pacemaker, Medtronic has it so he would take his blood pressure in the morning and he could send it over the phone.
Oh, like just text
so
it?
We didn't have to go to the device clinic for a checkup or for them to do whatever we did.
Oh, that's
It was
nice.
all handled.
That's nice, but it's also like, are we sure that we're good?
So I still have, and then they do certain things to check everything, but it's all done electronically.
That's crazy.
I still have that device here. I don't know if anybody would be interested in it. I don't know. What do you do? He hasn't had it that long. It's fairly new technology. So
like the blood pressure cuff, or
no, it has to do with the pacemaker.
Oh, so it probably is like a donut that goes over the pacemaker.
No, he didn't have to. Boy, I'm not even sure now.
It's okay.
No, he didn't have anything like that. It was just he would take his blood pressure, and I don't know what else he did, and then he would put it in the phone.
Oh.
That was it. He would put it in the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry
that
about
makes
that.
sense. No, it's okay.
I get confused.
It's not like you didn't have so much information that you had to remember for so long recently. So
no, it's pretty recent, yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't anything I had to know.
It's no biggie. There was something funny that David and I wanted to do with you. There are a lot of words in today's language that have completely different meanings for the kids these days. So
bad.
And I noticed you used a word which I wasn't quite sure what it meant. Do you remember? When you were talking about going to stitch. When you were talking about going to your job, you said it was a stitch. Can you explain more what that means?
It means It was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Like you're stitched up because you're laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So like that, we're gonna give you some words, and we're gonna have you guess what they mean, and then we'll explain what they mean after.
Oh, I love
There
that.
were
Okay.
so in doing research for this, there were also words that even Kara and I did not know.
Yeah,
Because
like
we're on the tail end of Gen Z.
yeah.
So like you're
But a lot
you're
of
on the
people
tail
younger.
end
Well,
of
I'm way ahead.
so you're on the tail end of silent generation, right before the boomers, and then like my parents are on the tail end of Gen X.
Yeah.
They're right after boomers, the beginning of Gen X, and then Daniel's kind of like a millennial, and then we're like Gen Z. We're on the tail. We're on the start of Gen Z essentially.
Yeah.
So, but
There's also changes between states because when we moved from Ohio and my workplace here, people would laugh at some of the things that I said.
oh yes, the
from
dialect.
Ohio.
The dialect,
dialect,
between states is it's each state in the United States is kind of like its own country.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna ask is basically internet dialect.
Oh, this ought to be good.
So- Okay, so we got our first word. It's called Riz, and we should use it in a sentence, unless you got to guess now.
Well, why don't we? Well, okay, so we'll have her guess, and we'll use it in a sentence, and then maybe that'll give her more context to be like.
Yeah, I've seen the word somewhere recently, but it's not
Riz.
one I know.
It was actually, I think it was the word of the year in 2024.
Really?
Was Riz.
Really?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any guess?
No.
All right, we'll use
Okay.
it in a sentence, and then
Yeah.
you can make a guess.
Okay, so when Kiara and I went on our first date, I rizzed up Kiara.
Researched?
Rizzed.
That's her guess.
Oh, it's research.
Research.
Oh, no.
No, that's a good guess.
That's a decent guess, though.
considering the context.
Yeah, that's a decent guess.
Like rizzing is like smooth talking.
So
oh,
it comes.
I gotcha.
So a lot of times
we had other words for that.
generations will shorten words.
Mm-hmm.
Riz is a shortened word of the word charisma.
Oh,
It's the middle. It's Riz.
that's
yeah.
good. I
Yeah.
like that.
This one's funny.
Okay, so this one is called
Jack was good at that when he
Rizzing?
wanted to be.
And smooth talking.
Yeah, Jack had the Riz. Papa Jack had the Riz.
also, yeah, with business too. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
he-
the-
Like smooth, yeah.
The next one is called Gyat. Gyat. Gyat.
Get your truth.
You're saying it's like a abbreviation.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
close.
okay. It's not an acronym. I'm not gonna use this sentence. So it is essentially someone's big behind.
Oh.
That's what it is. It comes from the like people would say they would say God and then DAMN when they would see someone who had a big behind, but they would emphasize the God to be like yeah. It would say yeah, and then it just became the noun. Yeah.
I didn't know this
Yeah.
for the longest time.
I didn't know.
I was just like, I don't know why people keep saying this word. It was weird.
Yeah. So
I like this one. You might know this because of sports.
you might know this one. It's goat.
Oh, yes.
What is
Michael Jordan's a goat, right?
it? yeah. Do you know what it stands for something? Do you know what it stands for?
It is an acronym.
That
It
one
is-
yeah.
is an acronym.
I can't remember right now. I know I've heard it.
That's
should
all right.
know.
It's greatest of all time.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering if you would know.
I knew what it
that
meant.
one.
Yes. Yeah. The next one is cap.
I thought you wear it on your head, but
I know. I'll use it in a sentence. When she told me I could be there at 5, I knew that was cap.
I don't know if it means if it's cap, does it mean she'll probably be late or that's a good time? I don't know.
It's a lie.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So you were right.
Yeah.
It was a lie.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
So you would say if you would say you're capping or you're capping, meaning you're lying.
Yeah. Straight
Yeah.
up, you're lying.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm
Oh.
sorry, you're closer.
oh, that's all right. Okay, that's good.
I think you do that one.
Yeah. So the next one is it's the word bussin. Bussin. Bussin.
And yeah.
It's
People
one of-
really say these words. People talk like this.
Oh, I'm sure they
Isn't that
do.
weird? Sounds like nonsense.
Sorry.
Well, I'm not in the workplace anymore, and I don't have young kids, so that's why I'm not picking up on. Does it mean you're doing something good? I mean that they like you're doing something well.
It's
She's close.
yeah, it's an adjective to describe something. We'll just go straight to the sentence.
Yeah.
You know, when grandma makes the Thanksgiving stuffing, it's bussin'.
Oh, so you like it?
Yes.
It's delicious.
So
Yeah.
it's specifically related to food, and you would only use it in the context of something food related.
Food related. Okay.
And it tastes
That
good.
it tastes good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bussin'. You say this food was bussin'. I'm not sure where. I don't know where that came from.
No, I have no idea
I don't
either.
like some of the other ones like Riz is charisma, right?
Yeah.
But bussin', I don't know.
It just okay. It sounded like it would be a word where something was good, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, it was
No,
food.
you got really close.
Yeah, you're on the right track. The next one, oh, that's spelled wrong.
Oh, so sorry.
The next one, again, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but none of these really do. Is called phantom tax.
See, I always thought it was fandom tax.
No, it's phantom. FANUM, and then space TAX. Phantom tax.
See, I would use a different word for this that we use at home.
Right. We use a word that makes sense, but this is like directly related to a specific internet creator, and it was named after that internet creator.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Phantom tax. Are they actually talking about a tax?
In a way, yes.
In a way.
Yeah.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
It's a kind of but
Well,
it's not.
phantom would be maybe it's a tax, but it's not out there. They don't spell it out. I mean, a phantom,
Like a phantom.
like a phantom. Yeah, a Phantom of the Opera.
Kind of close, but it's a
Here.
we won't use this sentence yet, but it's a
Okay.
tax. It's like a tax between friends.
Yeah.
So it's not a government tax, it's a tax between friends.
Oh, okay. So you owe something to somebody. Other words.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of similar. So a sentence would be, I don't know a sentence.
I don't. So the context that the word that I would use is husband tax. Do you if you were to talk with Jack, and Jack brought you a sip of water, and if he drank that water, I would call that a husband tax.
So he takes a first sip.
Because David will bring me food, and
Yeah.
he'll be like, a husband tax.
I take the first bite. So in online circles, it's called phantom tax.
Who's the creator?
So this guy named Phantom,
Oh.
he was streaming on a streaming platform called Twitch, where thousands of people were watching him and this other streamer on camera. And so this streamer, I believe named Kai Sanat, had food, and Phantom took some of his food just without asking and said, "This is the Phantom tax."
That makes sense.
That's where it started.
Okay.
And it just became memed to no end. It just, everyone started talking about it. Okay, yeah, that one. Let's
That's
go.
really interesting.
This one might be my favorite word out of this whole thing.
I think so, yeah.
It is the word mewing. It's a verb. What's your first guess? Just based off hearing the word mewing. I know. It's nonsense.
Poor grandma, what did we do?
Mew. Pew. Oh.
It's like mew, like to mew.
Yeah.
You can mew. I mew.
Mewing. Yeah.
I am mewing.
Caught me slacking, but I was actually mewing. That's a good sentence.
Resting.
That's actually not the worst guess.
Yeah, it's not the worst guess.
So, it's so hard to describe it. If you put your tongue up to the roof of your mouth and suck on your tongue, you create a nicer jawline. And if you do it for long enough, your jawline will get sharper. That's called mewing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what it is. Like, when people do a funny kissy face when they do it, they go.
And they exaggerate, and then
They go like this. They go shh.
Like, so it would, in internet circles, people would be so focused. It's a joke to be so focused on viewing that you can't do anything else. So like, if someone was talking to you, be like, "Yo, you gotta do this," or whatever it is they're talking about. If you're mewing, you can't talk because you have to focus on mewing. So you would, do this, and then you would say, you would be communicating to them that I am mewing. So you would point.
And what's the point of it?
So in theory, it's supposed to make your jawline more defined. I don't know if there's any actual evidence that is the case. Some people, there are content creators who were serious about saying you should do this if you want a sharper jawline, and then it just became a joke and a meme between people, and it's become like.
Well, if you're doing and what you were talking about, then maybe it's letting the other person know that they're extremely focused on what it is they're.
Yes. To give you an idea of what it was being used at in terms of kids, teachers were posting that I have to ban mewing in my class because the kids would,
It got so extreme.
Anytime they would be asked a question, they would just, do that as a joke,
Yeah.
just to kind of be disruptive. So that to give you context.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are the
that's
the
interesting.
Gen Z slang words.
What do you think of the words?
Well, some of them are good.
Yeah?
I don't.
Are you going to start using them?
I'm not using mewing.
Not using mewing.
Okay.
Fair.
My problem is at my age remembering them. But I mean,
We'll text you them.
Rizzy.
Rising. Yeah.
Risen.
Yeah.
And there was another one, but
Cap.
oh yeah, I like that.
Cap is good.
Yeah.
Cap is good. And then goat you knew. So.
Oh, I knew goat. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to say gyat all the time? You don't want to talk about girls' booties?
No.
How are you feeling?
I'm okay.
We can go out to dinner if you want.
Yeah, I would.
Let's go out to dinner.
Okay.
Sound good?
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think this went really well.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
right?
Yeah.